Good morning, everyone. Joseph here, Vets Haul Junk Removal, Stafford, Virginia, on a Saturday morning. I'm dropping by Caesar's house to pick him up. His car's not running right now. And both Caesar and I are heading out to Warrenton, Virginia this morning. First job of the day. We got to be there at 10 a.m. It's about 40 minutes away, but it's a bigger job for us. Veteran family called us and saw that we're highly rated, and they love to patronize veterans, so we're heading out there. And after that, we'll head to the landfill, hopefully before the landfill closes at 12 o'clock on Saturdays on the commercial side. And then we have two more jobs on the schedule, guys, both of them in Stafford, picking up a refrigerator, freezer, range, basically all of the appliances for a father and son Marines who are gutting a home and need that stuff removed. And then we're picking up a bedroom set after that. And then that stuff will sit in the trailer on Sunday until we can take it to the landfill on Monday. You know, I've told a few of you guys out there that I think that if you're just getting into junk removal, obviously you want to start with a trailer, one trailer, just to get you going. And I would suggest a 6x12. I started my junk removal business with a single 6x10 trailer and then my pickup truck. And I found that a 6x10, you could start a junk removal business. Don't let the small size of your trailer prevent you from starting your junk removal biz, guys. Start with what you have. But for a small operation, okay, in the beginning, I found the sweet spot was your pickup truck and 3 trailers. So back in those days, I ran with 3 6x12 trailers, all of them with 4-foot high sides. Guys, the more you could take, the more junk you can remove, the more money you're going to make. But I found that during those days, at the level that I was operating at, I always had at least 1.5 to 2 trailers vacant or available and empty. Not vacant, empty. And I was able to usually keep 1 trailer for the metal items. And it just kind of worked out, guys. You're sort of juggling trailers, you know. You always need to have a trailer available. If you stay working with 1 trailer, then once your trailer's full, you'll have to wait until you could dump it. And if the landfill is closed, you didn't make the landfill cutoff or what have you, then you're stuck with that full trailer and you can't do any more jobs. Talking about trailers, I spoke with a junk removal entrepreneur last night by the name of Homer McMillian. I've seen his name before in the various junk removal business groups, and I had the pleasure of talking to him last night. Guy inspired me, guys. He's just a really awesome man. He spent a lifetime career in law enforcement. He doesn't have to do junk removal. He does it basically to stay young and just keep busy, because, you know, when you stop moving around and working, you tend to find yourself becoming glued to the rocking chair, and then that's when you get old and your body deteriorates. So he's out there, law enforcement, 20 years in law enforcement, and he's out there building his junk removal business. And he's going to start making videos. And guys, I highly encourage you to make videos to grow your junk removal business. And when entrepreneurs reach out to me, and there's a ton of entrepreneurs that reach out to me, guys, and I really like talking to each and every one of you. We spoke with Homer. I spoke with Homer last night, and he says, hey, man, you should tell people that story. And it's a story of how I acquired my first trailer. And I didn't think there was anything really amusing or anything that anyone would really want to listen to. But, you know, he said the way you got your first trailer might inspire someone to ask someone about maybe a trailer that's sitting on the side of the road, which would be the perfect trailer for a new entrepreneur to start with. And you'll see what I'm talking about in a second. So I drive down for a couple of years this one major road in Stafford, Virginia, and I would see the same broken down, look like a 6x12, 4-foot side high trailer. And it was filled with aluminum cans. And on the side was a broken down sign that said, donate your cans for the Burnt Children's Fund for the fire department. It was parked right in front on the corner of the fire department. And the fire department was no longer occupied. The fire department had moved to a new building. The city still owned the property, but they were doing nothing with the building. They were doing nothing with the trailer. Both were dilapidated. So I decided to try and pursue purchasing this trailer, but I needed to figure out who owned it. So there was a number on the side of the trailer. Now the trailer was it was in dire straits, guys. It was in really bad condition. But I knew that I couldn't spend much to get started in junk removal because I didn't want to invest a whole lot, because I didn't know if junk removal was going to pay off, if it was going to work, if I was going to be able to turn this thing into a legitimate business. So I ended up calling a number that was on the side of the trailer, and the city answered. And the city said, that charity's no longer in operation. I might be able to get a hold of the gentleman who I think maybe worked at the charity. Long story short, guys, but 2 days later, I get a call from someone saying he was involved with the charity and something about the trailer and how can he help me. And I said, well, I've been passing by this trailer for a few years already. Doesn't look like it's moved. Sometimes it's filled with cans. He didn't know what I was talking about. He says, well, years ago, about 4 years ago, I started and owned a charity to help out, burnt children. I was involved with the fire department, so on. He says, but we liquidated everything we had. We had about 30 trailers all around Northern Virginia that people could just come and throw aluminum cans in. He says, but we liquidated everything. That shouldn't be there. And I said, well, it is. It's on the corner of this street and that street in front of the fire department. He says, perhaps we forgot about that trailer. Anyways, how can I help you? I said, well, sir, I'm interested in starting my own junk removal business. I don't have a lot of money to spend to get into junk removal. And I thought I might just reach out and maybe make you an offer. He says, well, I don't have a use for the trailer anymore. The charity's been dissolved. I thought my employees picked it up, and to my recollection, everything was liquidated, sold off, given away, as far as the trailers were concerned, but maybe we forgot about that trailer. He said, what's your offer? He said, first, tell me a little bit about yourself. So that was my opportunity, guys, to build rapport. He asked me to tell him a little bit about myself, what I wanted to do, who I was. And guys, when someone asks you something like that, that's your one shot to build rapport with the individual, whether you're closing a job or, in this case, I was trying to purchase this trailer. I said, well, sir, I don't want to insult you. You tell me what you think is a fair price, and if I can afford it, maybe we can make a deal. He says, brother, I don't have a fair price. I don't need the trailer. I'm 90 years old now. I have no use for it. I said, okay, what's your offer? He says, what's your offer? I said, I don't want to insult you, but all I can really afford right now is $150. He says, $150? I said, well, I told you I didn't want to insult you. He says, sold. I like what you're doing. I like that you served your country. I always want to help veterans. Let's make it happen. So we did the paperwork through the mail, and 14 or so days later, I got the title, and there I am. I got my hitch hooked up, and I'm driving to pick up this trailer. And I'm really excited because I'm on my journey to start my junk removal business. And the last piece of the puzzle was I needed a trailer. And I didn't want to spend $1,000 on a used trailer or $1,500 on a new trailer. But now I got a trailer for $150. I'm the luckiest guy on earth. Here I go to start my junk removal journey and saga. And as I pull up to the parking lot of the fire department, the trailer's gone. It's gone. And I said, there's some funny business going on here. This guy ripped me off for $150. I call the guy up. Hey, sir, what's going on? He doesn't know anything. He suggests, call the police. I call the police. Police comes out. We're taking the report. As I'm there with the policeman, this broken down, rickety truck with an equally broken down and rickety, I'll say hillbilly. I don't mean that in a bad way, but he was a hillbilly, okay? Farmer John, Farmer John's on. No shirt underneath, just the jean straps, straw hat, greasy looking, overweight old man, and his truck just as greasy looking. So here he comes with the trailer in tow behind his truck, and he's pulling into the area where the trailer originally sat. And I said, hey man, what are you doing with my trailer? This ain't your trailer. This belongs to the Burnt Children's Fund and blah, blah, blah. And I take it to get the money and we donate it to the, so-and-so owns it. I said, hey brother, I got so-and-so on the phone. Turns out this gentleman did work with the charity many years ago. He knew that the charity had shut down, but over a 4-year period, he was taking the cans that people were donating and recycling them and keeping the money. I decided not to press charges, guys. That's not what I'm about. Just keeping my trailer. So I took that trailer, guys. I threw good quality used tires on it, cleaned it up, washed it, gave it a nice black spray paint, and it was all metal. It was way too heavy. It was totally metal. It was made in the 70s. It was just too heavy for my pickup truck to pull, but I knew that this was an opportunity that I could flip to get the trailer that I really wanted. So I found a buyer, guys. I flipped it for $1,500, and I went out that day with cold, hard cash in my hand, happy like a kid going to the candy store, and I went to Leonard Trailers in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and I bought my very first utility trailer, and then I was in business, guys. I guess I could have used this old trailer, but I didn't, I wanted something that was new or good quality used that I wouldn't have to worry about, and besides, like I said, the trailer was too heavy. So I went out, guys, and I purchased my trailer, and then I was in the junk removal business. But I would have eventually gotten a trailer, but it never would have been as easy as it was and as low cost as it was for me. The stars were all aligned for me, guys, and I would not have been blessed like that if I would not have decided to get out of my comfort zone, guys. Homer made mention last night about how he's going to start making videos as well, and how he wants to make his junk removal videos from a different perspective, a perspective of an individual who is starting from the ground up and taking the viewer from the very basics, okay, of getting it to junk removal, and at a very low cost. And he says, your story is very unique. My story is very unique of how I got the trailer. And there may be some individuals out there who, might find value and benefit from hearing how you got your trailer. Guys, never be afraid to go and ask someone for help. These days, a lot of us, and I'm guilty of this as well, try and keep ourselves like an island, okay? We try and do everything ourselves, but there is value, guys. There is value in interacting with people, engaging with people, and saying, hey, like I did, I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to offer you $150, and I don't want to insult you. And lo and behold, guys, I had my first trailer, and I was in business, and I wouldn't have been able to acquire that trailer like that if I had not left my comfort zone. So I appreciate all of you who reach out to me. Homer McMillian. I had really great conversation with Gary Nolan, another gentleman who is just about this close to launching his junk removal business in Florida. And he's doing it right, guys. He just, he hasn't picked up his truck yet, but he just shot me some pictures of his big, beautiful, well-made, high-end, looks like it's a 14-footer or maybe a 16-footer, I don't know, but it's dump and all that, total metal sides. Good for him. And I won't say that any of the individuals that I talk to regularly, the guys who call me entrepreneurs, started their junk removal business because I inspired them, although some of them did. But it's just nice, guys, to know that I'm playing some type of part in motivating or inspiring a lot of you guys who are out there to get out of your comfort zone, guys, to believe in yourself, that you can do it. A lot of us come from a challenged background. We all have different life experiences, guys. But, I really have always subscribed to that saying, as corny as it sounds, if it's going to be, it's up to me. If it's going to be, it's up to me. And all you have to do, okay, don't worry about if you're going to fail or if it's going to be tough or if you're going to get work. Don't worry about all that, guys. Give it the absolute best effort that you can, okay? And just try. Remember those 2 words, just try. If you don't ever try, you're not ever going to realize. And there could be success. There could be immense success waiting for you guys just around the corner if you just try. But if you don't try, you will never know. Is it scary to leave the 9 to 5? Yeah, it is. Is it scary, to invest money into the things you need to begin a junk removal business? It definitely is, guys. But I've had many failures in my life, in business. I've had more failures than I've had successes, but the successes, guys, have been sweet each and every time. And had I never believed in myself just a little bit, and had I never just tried, guys, I would have never have realized the great life lessons and the great successes, not just in business, in life, that I realized. So, that being said, guys, I really do appreciate talking to each and every one of you. Thank you for reaching out to me when you do, because when I talk to you and you guys say, hey, you motivate me and you inspire me, Joseph, you guys do the same to me as well. And I thank you for that. These are the great intangible benefits that junk removal offers. So I'm waiting for Caesar here. We're heading off to this job in Warrenton. I'm going to show you what we're taking.